Hello and welcome. This is TVC News Hour. I am IKE Obienu. The 71 House of Representatives members are sponsoring a bill to change Nigeria from the presidential system of government to the parliamentary system. Many have argued that the presidential system of government is expensive and that power is concentrated at the center and not divided among the three tiers of government. In 1960, Nigeria practiced the parliamentary system of government. Nnamdi Azikiwe was the president, while Tafawa Balewa was the first and only prime minister Nigeria ever had. But the 1966 coup ended the parliamentary system of government because the military seized power. Some Commonwealth countries like Australia, Jamaica, Denmark, Sweden and others practice the parliamentary system of government. Britain runs a parliamentary system of government, and just yesterday the Prime Minister survived a confidence vote from her Conservative Party. The vote was triggered by the controversial Brexit deal, which has got her in the bad books of even her party members. The presidential system of government, which is currently being used in Nigeria, where the head of state is also the head of government, is also the form of government practiced in the US. The United States is actually the first nation to create the office of the president and the head of state in a modern republic. The question now is, could the refusal of President to sign the electoral amendment bill responsible for the move by the 71 reps to change the system of government? TVC News correspondent Jokai Adisa told us earlier that these 71 lawmakers are from different political parties and are ready to lobby others to support this bill.
71 members cutting across our political parties in the chamber, they have come together to sponsor the bill that is seeking to change Nigeria's system of government from the presidential to the parliamentary system of government. And part of their argument is that it is more effective, it is more economical, and that it will make Nigeria's economic system to work. So they are so convinced, they say it's achievable. And so they say they are drawing support, and they are also still hoping that other members will also buy into their vision for Nigeria. But of course, the challenge that most people have also said, even within this short time, is that it is coming very close to the elections, and we also know that most of these lawmakers, one way or the other, will be busy pursuing their political ambitions. But they are so convinced, they are so optimistic that it will sail through and that it is the best for Nigeria now.
Let's now bring in a political science lecturer from the University of Lagos, Kayode Eswola, to talk to us more about this. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this time.
Thank you.
All right. Well, proponents of a return to the parliamentary system of government are saying that it is economically friendly, cost-effective and largely efficient in the conduct of the business of government. Is there a sense in which you align yourself with their thoughts?
Well, thank you very much. There are two reasons decisions are taken anywhere in the world, whether political decision or economic decision. It's either you conceive that idea through theoretical analysis, or emphatically now, by practical experience, you have come to realize that an existing system does not work. In the case of Nigeria, we don't need the wisdom of Solomon to know that the presidential system of government that we practice in this country today, as we practice it, has almost totally failed. Failed in building the country, failed in uniting the country, given our historical background, and failed in recognizing the need to balance distribution of resources within the society. And this is what brings about the question of being too expensive to run. So, given this background, those who are agitating are coming from the fact that in a country like ours, which was put together hurriedly by colonial masters, different cultures, different traditions, different religions, presidentialism may not be the best. In a country like ours, which is still experiencing very crumbling economic situation, presidentialism may not be the best.
All right, Kayode.
No crime in English.
All right, you remember that the parliamentary system of government was promulgated by the Littleton Constitution of 1954, and we practiced this system of government between 1960, that is the First Republic, and 1966, when the military took over. When you do a comparative analysis between the two periods, do you think that the parliamentary system gives us more advantage than the presidential?
Well, I tried as much as possible to be theoretical in my analysis. There is no way you can compare a system that was practiced for just 2 years and 9 months with a system that has been practiced for almost 35 to 40 years. The ground for comparison does not exist. But the point I'm trying to draw is that people and nations take decisions to change their government style or adopt their government style based on two factors. The textbook factors, the way something is perceived and conceived, and fallout of practical experience. From Nigerian scenario situation, our experience after practicing presidential system for more than 30 years does not speak to the fact that it is working. And once it is not working based on these practical insinuations, you don't need the wisdom of Solomon to know that it's high time you began to think of using the alternative.
All right, we do have just a few months to the expiration of the 8th Assembly. The time that is left at the moment, do you think that it is enough to push the bill through?
It is not enough. It is not enough because the body language of the political leadership in Nigeria today does not suggest a support of the position of the parliamentarians. Therefore, it is not likely to put through. That being said, let the point be made, let the agitation start, let the society begin to use it to set agenda. And at some point and someday, the idea will be dominant.
All right, Kayode Swola, political science lecturer, University of Lagos. So thank you very much indeed for talking to us this time.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
In other stories, President Muhammadu Buhari will present the 2019 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly. That will be next Wednesday. This is contained in a letter dated and read by the Speaker Yakubu Dogara at Thursday's plenary. But members raised objection to media reports credited to Budget and National Assembly Minister Udo Udoma that the Parliament was delaying the budget presentation exercise. The House wants the minister to clear the air between now and next Tuesday before taking a decisive action on the allegation. Another chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Tunde Fowler, says that he hopes to generate about 5.3 trillion naira at the end of the year. This comes as the FIRS already generated 5 trillion naira by the second week of December. This will be the highest revenue generated in the history of federal inland revenue, as the turnover comes at a time when oil prices hover between $50 and $70 per barrel. Mr. Fowler says that the FIRS has been able to generate this with support of the Presidency, Ministry of Finance, Joint Tax Board, and others. And Senate President Bukola Saraki will attend the launch of U.S. President Donald Trump's strategy for Africa, which will be unveiled to the public later today. The new United States strategy argues for more effective utilization of existing U.S. resources on the continent and will focus on bringing more foreign direct investment into Africa. It is in line with the legislative agenda of the 8th Assembly, which is aimed at reforming the Nigerian economy through strategic legislation that will help promote increased participation of private sector actors. This is TVC News Hour. We'll take a break now, and when we return, we do have more stories for you. Please stay with us.